Alright, in this video we're going to go over Pull 360. It's an app that the suppliers use, SCP and Superior. There may be a few others. Those are the only two that we use. Let me log out right fast and we can see who all uses them. So, Pull 360, e-selling site for SCP, Superior, National Pull and Tile, and Horizon. So if you use any of these suppliers, or if we're using any of these suppliers, you can always come here, log into your account, and get pricing and a few other items on the fly. So we're going to log in and just go over kind of what this thing is capable of doing. The dominant feature of it that most people use, especially technicians in the field, and well, it depends on how you do your pricing. If your technicians are pricing in the field, they're going to use this to obtain wholesale pricing, or if the office does wholesale pricing, the best thing you can do realistically is actually create a pricing spreadsheet, so you don't have to do this every single time, and you'll have this stuff documented. I'm going to show you that here in a minute. But if you don't have that, you can come here and find what it is that you're looking for. Now, bear in mind, there's a lot of information in this site. So if you were to say Pentair Whisper Flow and search, it's going to give you a whole bunch of stuff. There's a lot of information in here. So they have these filters over onto the side. I want to go to pumps, residential. And there we go. Now we've at least listed, taken some of the stuff off. You come over here, you see this obsolete thing. You always want to exclude the obsolete stuff because you can't get the parts anyways. And then I like to price high to low so I don't end up with a whole bunch of really tiny items. If they're really tiny items, my technician gets that information for us because he's on site. He knows, or she, they know what it is that's actually going on out there and what parts specifically they need. So that's the easiest thing. But for whole good items, which is the dominant feature for the office, high to low, exclude that stuff, filter your products, and then start looking for exactly what it is that you want. 2 horsepower, 230 volt, that's a 2-speed, don't want it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Just go through here and find out exactly what it is that you're looking for in specific. So that's one way to do it. The other way to do it is to create your price list, document all of this information. Whisper Flow, 2 horsepower. I have the actual parts number right here. And there you go. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So the end goal, of course, is why do I need this? One, you get a lot of information. Description. What is it? It's a 1-speed, uprated, high-performance pump. Good information. Is it available? Is it being stocked anywhere? You can just go ahead and click here first and foremost. And we're going to get the whole thing to pull up. It's going to give us a whole bunch of information. The price for us to buy it at wholesale is $525.76. You can go with the list price, which is actually pretty much spot on with what we sell the actual pump for, and then we add labor onto it, 125 bucks. And of course, you can go down here, find out where the actual pumps are and how many of them they have. Additional info, you can download these things for yourself or for the customer, get some ideas of some stuff that you are going to need with it. This pump in particular doesn't come with unions. So here you go. It tells you you need these unions when you buy it, and you're going to need 2 of them. You have your schematics and your parts, the blow up of the actual stuff, with actually everything you need to know about how this piece is built. So you can find those parts just in case your technician can't. You can come here, pull the schematic part, say, okay, where is it on the pump? And then you can start kind of digging through here and seeing what you're actually going to need. Features, it's just the same stuff that you already have. Specifications, it's stuff that's pretty much already on there, but I mean, it can be good to know. I don't really use these 2 spots very much just because I'm very familiar with this pump. It's a great pump to sell if you're not selling it. Anyways, that's the really overarching thing of what you're going to do with this. Find the part, get the price, and then of course you have all these other little sub options down here that can help you figure out more information as far as availability as well. On this website, you can go to the availability, figure out what it is that you want. You can actually add it to your cart and have it delivered somewhere as well. You have it delivered on site, or you can add it to the cart in a specific city location so you can go pick it up on will call. You can add it to a template, Templates being here, like I have my active templates, my maintenance is 21 items. So when I click on it, this is a list of common items that we buy for the pool cleaners. And I can create new templates. So if I wanted to add a template, I would say repairs. And I can add that, and now I can go through here, which is all my stuff, which I already have one, and I can pull up all these part numbers. I can add it to that repairs template. That way I have a quick way to print out, especially for if they do a price increase on you. I can go through now and pull that template up, print that template out, and check all of my pricing for all of those parts very quickly without having to search on all of them. And then go to another supplier or something and say, hey, this is my pricing that I have over here. Can you beat it? And they'll beat it in some areas, they won't in some others, and then you can just kind of make them haggle against each other until you get a fair price, because they will go up on you 5% every single year like clockwork. So you have template options that you can go through. You can change your active template. I have a few of them. Autofills, automation, chemicals, controllers, and my price book too. Whenever I was building my price book, I actually created a template for the price book so I could print it so I'd have a reference point so I could actually do this to make the calculations for me. It's a really convenient little thing, and you just change it. Whichever one you want to actually change it to, you just change it over to it, and then boom, you have everything you need to know. Other than that, you have your account info. Don't really use any of these. This is for looking up prices, using these templates for price checking our goods, finding out what our most commonly sold items are, things along those lines, and then account info, order status, and history. This is a great way to track invoices if there's something you need to know for an extended period of time. So I'm going to click my order history. I always use order history. It's the easiest one. That seems as though all three of these actually lead to the same place. We buy stuff and then they close it, so I don't have open orders. Now, I guess if you purchase something and it was on will call, you could go to your open order history and find out if that thing is hasn't been paid for or not. If it needs to be paid for, you can address it. But once we're buying something, it's because we've sold it. So order history, choose my date range. So let's say I want to see in the month of September, how many POs did we actually use at SCP? Bear in mind, this is only showing SCP's information. It's only showing SCP's pricing. If I want to do this for Superior and some of their pricing is a little bit different, I would need to log into the Superior Pool 360 account. So here we go. Now I can see all this. I always change this to 50. I don't like scrolling through 6 pages of information. Then I can expand this out, and now I can see these are all the POs that we've used through September. I'm showing you this because it's a great resource to find out how many chemicals are you using, how many parts do you have on a truck. So if you're tracking your inventory on a truck, and you know that, hey, we were preparing for a busy weekend, so we went and bought 2 WhisperFlow pumps and a booster pump and an intermatic timer system because all the jobs correlated with that stuff. And you want to track that. Of course, you want to document it, that you have it on that truck. Then you can go back and you can actually get the specific information for that PO and know exactly what it was. He has a WhisperFlow pump. This is how much it cost us. This is where we got it from, and it's on his truck. What I can do here as well is I can export this invoice. So for stuff like this, it's great for finding out what all you have going on, especially on like pool cleaners. So I have a stock PO here, a stock PO here, and a stock PO here. I want to pull every single one of these up, and I'm just going to start exporting them. Export, export, and export. Let it do its thing for a minute. It's got to think. May have done that too fast. I think I did do it too quick. Try it again. Open. I love it when I'm making a video and these things decide to start slowing down on me like crazy. Don't save. All right, we're going to try this again. Open link in new tab. There we go. Yeah, I just try to tell it to move too quick. Now it's going to give you a whole bunch of information, a lot of information you really don't need. I'm going to export this one. And this is kind of what I like to do. So I don't need most of this information anyway, so I'm just going to get rid of it. You can decide what it is that you want to get rid of. That's completely up to you. Just using this as an example, I want the description. I want the cost, and the cost after the actual amount that we actually purchased. I just get rid of all the pointless information that I don't need. And then this is just a general idea of what I like to do here. Get back over there. So this is kind of user preference. Cost, external cost. See, that's a negative number. That means you return something. Ship quantity is negative. Delete. Blah, 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 blah. Now I like to actually cut this out of here and just put it on the other one because I want it all on one page. All right, and see, now I can do this with all of these. So if I have a actual, when I want to find out how many chemicals do they actually use for the entire month of September, I would just go to this little area over here, go through, I'll use David as an example, go through every single one of David's POs and export them. And then cut out all the information that I don't want, put it all onto one file, and then I can see how many buckets of Cal Hypo did he use, how many buckets of tabs did he use for the entire month of September. Then I can take that number as well and times it by the number of actual pools that he cleaned, how many visits did he do. So now I have how much total did he spend on chemicals, and how much did he spend per pool. And it's very, very valuable information. So you can watch trends and prepare for it. So ultimately, Pool 360 has a lot of utility. You get your pricing, you can get your schematics, you can order parts and have them delivered. You can order parts and have them set up for will call. You can use this in the field on a mobile device. You can create templates so that you can see what are your most commonly sold items for repairs and for maintenance. You can print that report so you can use it for making your suppliers compete with each other, as well as you can use the order history section and actually have a look at every single PO that was done within a time frame and find out how much money you spent, and then start dividing that by the factors that you want to know. How much do we spend per week, per month, per quarter, per year, per tech, per customer. You can do all of that information. It takes a little bit of work because you got to export all of these files, trim out all the fat that you don't want, mesh them all into one. It'll take you a couple hours to get done, but whenever it's all said and done, it is extremely valuable and worth it. So that is Pool 360 and all of the utility that it can do to help you out.